Hit it, Phil.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Can it be the breeze that fills the trees with rare and magic perfume? Oh, no, it isn't the breeze. It's Jackson time. La-da-da-da.
Stay tuned.
Right after this episode.
For our discussion.
Right.
Light up a lucky.
It's light up time.
Be happy, go lucky.
It's light up time.
For the taste that you like, light up a lucky strike.
Relax.
It's light up time.
Why is it when folks are stepping out, you so often see Luckies going along? It's just that Luckies always taste better. That's because they're made of fine tobacco. Naturally mild, good-tasting tobacco that's toasted. That's right. It's toasted to taste even better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Next time you're going out, take a pack of Luckies along with you. You'll say they're the best-tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
For the taste that you like, light up a lucky strike.
Right now.
Light up a lucky. It's light up time.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lucky Strike program, and I want to wish all of you a very happy New Year. I hope you all had a nice Christmas. I know I had one of the best this year, and I got such beautiful gifts, and they were also practical, too. Oh, I got it from my cast and my director, and oh, I must tell you, first of all, what the orchestra boys gave me. You see, they always wait the last minute to buy me a gift. And this year, they tried to get it on Christmas Eve. You see, and the only thing open was a delicatessen. So the next morning when I came downstairs, there, hanging on the mantel, was a stocking full of coleslaw. You know, if they'd have just given it to me a few days sooner, I wouldn't have had to spend all that money on tinsel. But I got a lot of nice practical gifts. Now, Don Wilson gave me this tie, you know, conservative. Don Mary gave me the shirt. And Dennis Day gave me these socks. I don't want you to think that these aren't mates. It's just that when I washed them, one shrunk and one faded. You know? I think you got them at the Pep Boys or someplace. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Christmas is over. Now we're looking forward to New Year.
Jack,
oh, Don.
Excuse me, please.
Don.
Jack, one of the ushers found this lady's handbag here at the studio, and I thought you might like to announce it so the owner could claim it.
Oh, well, thank you, Don. I certainly will, before anything happens to it. There's no money in it, right? It says Miss Mansfield. If there's a Miss Mansfield in the audience, would she please come up on the stage and claim her purse? Hey, Miss Mansfield? Oh, for heaven's sake! Jane, I never dreamed that was you. I want to tell you that I'm quite flattered that you came here to see my show. Yeah?
Frankly, Jack, I really didn't expect to be here myself.
You didn't?
No, what happened was I was just walking outside, passing the studio, and an usher ran out and grabbed my purse.
The usher grabbed your purse?
He certainly did, and I think it's a pretty sneaky way for you to get guests up here on the stage.
Well, I mean, what's the difference? You're here, and that's all that matters.
Jack, I'd like to ask you a question. Is this the way you always get your guest stars?
Well, no, sometimes it doesn't work. I remember once... Once I tried the same purse trick with Martha Ray, but she's got a grip like a bulldog.
Did you get her purse?
Pardon?
Did you get Martha's purse?
No, and we lost an usher.
Jack, it was awfully nice of you to return my purse to me, and I guess I'll be
Thank you.
leaving now.
Oh, wait a minute, Jane, wait a minute, before you leave. I must tell you that the other night I went to see your new picture, the girl can't help it.
That's right.
And I thought not only the picture was good, but you were absolutely wonderful in it.
Thank you very much. How did you like my leading man, Tom Ewell?
Tom Ewell? Well, I thought he was good, you know. Although I felt that the part called for someone, say, a little more mature, a little more sophisticated. You know, a little more, well, you know what I mean.
I not only know what you mean, I know whom.
I thought I was being so subtle. But, Jane, I must tell you something. You know, I know the gentleman who directed your picture, Frank Taston, very well. We've been friends for years. And I thought maybe I could have been in the picture, you see, so I called him and asked him about it, and I didn't get anywhere. Wasn't there a part in the picture for me?
Oh, yes, there was, but he decided to give it to me.
No.
He said that even though we walked alike, that you were too sophisticated.
Well, I wasn't too sophisticated for them to ask me to put money in the picture, you know.
Oh, now, Jack, you didn't finance this picture. I happen to know they got all the money from the bank.
Well, where do you think the bank got it? Well, Jane, anyway, thanks again. It was lovely having you up here, and I wanted everybody to see
Thank you, Jack. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce, if you will please look at me. Miss Mansfield is going to be a guest on my program a week from Thursday on the Shower of Stars. And this is a scheduled appearance. This isn't one of those purse-grabbing things. And now, in keeping with the new year, the Sportsman Quartet and Rochester are going to do a typical New Year's number called New Year's in Trinidad.
American tourists have this to say: if you're feeling kind of low and want to get away, pick a Caribbean island for your holiday. Spend New Year's Day in Trinidad. Do your friends begin to bore you with the dialogue? Are you fed up with the traffic, with the fog and smog? Would you like to never see another eggnog? Spend New Year's Day in Trinidad. So come, come, come and meet the soccer man who sing, sing, sing the only way he can. Come, come, come and get a lovely tan. You learn calypso if you're able to. Put the accent upon the wrong syllable. You must come soon. It's unbelievable on New Year's Day in Trinidad.
Where the shark create a load of fun. All the other gals you make so mad, but the boy don't seem to mind. I teach you my calypso song. Directions short and sweet, how can you go wrong when you add a word or two that you make up as you go along? Pick the word that occurs to you. Any kind of a word will do.
Well, now let's see.
And before you can tell the time,
You make it right.
I will make for you a rhyme.
For advertising what you manufactured, for harmonizing rising when you're good and fraction. Most heartily we recommend Calypso Strong. Lucky Strike gives you cigarettes. Everyone's learning you can bet. Firm and fully packed like we like. Let's all light a Lucky Strike. We know considerable tastiness result from Lucky special toasting process. LSMFT is the cigarette for you and me. Now today start the new year right. Sing Calypso song with all your might. But before we do another thing, Old Lang Syne we ought to sing. Sure old acquaintance we forget, and never brought to mind. Sure old acquaintance we forget, and they come on and
Ladies and gentlemen, you know, now that we are approaching the new year, 1947, I do think... What did I say? 40? Oh, 1957. Now we're approaching 1957. I often... No wonder I'm 39. I keep wondering, where is the new talent coming from that television needs so badly? And I think it is up to fellows like myself and other entertainers in this business to give amateurs and talent a chance to be seen on the stage, you see. And I'm going to do this once in a while, have these amateur shows starting with tonight. And I've asked my producer to sort of search around through this area for some local talent, and he has some for today, and I haven't seen any of the acts, but he tells me they're awfully good, you know. And of course, it'll be up to your approval who wins the contest and get a contract with me. So I believe they're here. Don, is the talent here?
Yes, Jack, yes. This gentleman is our first contestant, Jack.
See, it says, Stanley G-R-O-P-F-F.
Gropp. Stanley Gropp.
Oh, Stanley Gropp. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. It always happens when I'm introduced. At a convention, my suit shrinks.
Well, Stanley, you know, of course, if you win this contest, you have a chance to go on television. I imagine you'd like that, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes, sir. I would love to be on the TV.
Good, good. Now, tell me, Mr. Gropp, would you
mind just calling me Stanley?
Now, Stanley, it says here that you do imitations. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do animals, all kinds of things.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's hear a dog, for instance.
Let's hear a dog. There's 18,000 kind of dogs, and he says, let's hear a dog. Be specific. What kind of dog do you want? There's Chows, Chihuahuas, Dachshunds, Doberman Pinschers, Cocker Spaniels.
Well, all right, let's hear you do a Cocker Spaniel.
I can't do that one.
Well, what kind of a dog?
Well, I do small dogs, big dogs, happy dogs, sad dogs, and I also do a Saint Bernard.
Oh, I'd like to hear that. A Saint Bernard.
Yeah.
Let's hear that. Say, when you imitate a dog, you really get carried away, don't you?
Yesterday, I chased my wife up a tree.
Well, what do you do, Mr. Gropp? What do you do besides, No, I'm sorry. besides, don't.
No. I can do a horse.
Will you imitate a horse? All right,
Yeah.
let's hear that. Very good, very good.
Oh, thank you. I can also do an English horse.
An English horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
All right.
An English. Well, that's amazing. I mean, what do you do besides animals?
Oh, I got a extensive repertory.
Oh.
Sure. Did you ever hear electric organ?
No.
Oh, well, you just listen to this.
All right, Stanley, that's enough. Stanley, that's enough. Stanley. Mr. Groff. You were very, very good. Now stand backstage, and in case you win the contest, we'll know the results afterwards.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very, very much. You just stand. Oh, wait a minute. Just 1 minute. As long as you've had so much trouble with that name Groff, why didn't you change it?
Oh, I already did.
You did?
Yes, my name used to be Spritzer.
Well, good luck, yeah.
I changed my
Oh,
first
never
name.
mind. There's a great talent, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that name, Stanley Groff. Oh, excuse me. Now, who have we next on this amateur contest? There's here a sister act, 3 young ladies. I haven't seen this one either. He tells me they're awfully good. Would you please send those 3 ladies on, please, the sister act? Groff. Well, there's a nice-looking quartet. Are you the, You are, I see. Now, what's the name of your act? What do you girls call yourselves, huh?
Well, we're the 3 Landrew sisters.
The Landrew sisters? Wait a minute, doesn't that sound very much like the famous Andrew sisters?
We know what we're doing.
And let's see, you on the end over there. You are on the end. You look a little like Don Wilson around the ribbon. Have you been with this trio a long time, have you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, there's no bluff about this act. I mean, you girls are really sisters, huh?
I am. I don't know about the other 2.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to remember everything, of course. Which one is the oldest here?
You mean excluding you?
Yes.
Well, we don't like to tell our age.
Oh.
That's the one thing I'm sensitive about.
Well, girls, well, here's a cute little number right here. How do you do?
How do you do?
You know, you're the prettiest one of the 3.
Is that good?
Well, no, but it'll keep you from throwing yourself in front of a truck.
I know what you mean. There used to be 4 of us.
Oh, then I'm right. I'm right. Now, girls, you know, of course, if you get a contract, you know, if you happen to win in this contest, you can be on my show, and then you can travel with us and everything. You know, I'll be on the road all the time, going from town to town. You can travel with me all the time, you see. So I was wondering, have you had much experience?
We ought to slap your face.
I didn't mean that. I mean singing on the stage here or something.
For your information, next Tuesday, we're going to be in the Rose Parade.
Oh, are you going to be on the Hollywood float?
On it. We're pulling it.
Well, don't worry. Maybe next time you'll be riding on it, you know.
That's what they keep telling us. Next year, next year. Gee.
When are we going to sing? My feet are killing me.
I thought you were sitting down. Well, what number have you girlies prepared for us? What number are you going to do?
Did you ever see A Dream Walking?
You ever see? That's a pretty old song, isn't it?
Well, we ain't exactly on pablum. You ain't no Huckleberry Finn yourself.
All right! I have your number. That's what I want to hear. Malin, will you give them an introduction to their number?
Did you ever see A Dream Walking? Well, we did. Woo-woo. Did you ever hear A Dream Talking? Well, we did. Walking in the meadow. Did you ever
Your feet don't hurt now, do they? You get over here now. No, you get here. No, you better stay here. Maybe give him the finish of the number. All I need. Those are the Landrew sisters. I wonder how they would have sounded accompanied by Mr. Groff's electric organ. Ladies and gentlemen, after a word from my sponsor, I will be back with a contestant that I picked myself.
Presenting Happy Joe Lucky.
Lucky Strike, better tasting Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike. It's toasted for the taste you like.
Every day more people say the Luckies do taste better. So hurry on down to the shop you like and buy a carton of Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike, there's nothing quite like Lucky Strike.
Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike, it's toasted for the taste you like. You will find that Lucky tastes cleaner, fresher, smoother.
So if it's better taste you like, better taste the Lucky Strike.
Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike, better tasting Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike, Lucky Strike, it's toasted for the taste you like.
Every day more people say that Luckies do taste better. So hurry on down to the shop you like and buy a carton of Lucky Strike. You'll say it's the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
Lucky Strike.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contestant, as I said before, I picked myself. I met him during one of my trips to the South Pacific. He was in the Philippines, and he's one of the greatest artists in the art of jiu-jitsu or judo or wrestling that you have ever seen in your life. As a matter of fact, he just recently defeated the champion of Japan. I found out he was going to be here. I asked him to be on the show. I'd like to have you meet Mr. Leon Salvador. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it makes no difference whether 1, 2, 7, or 8 men should wrestle with him. Mr. Salvador can throw these 7 or 8 men within a period of not over 12 seconds. And I took the liberty of acquiring 6 men from the Main Street Gymnasium to help us with this experiment. Gentlemen, would you please come out? Thank you. Now, these men will run over to attack Mr. Salvador, and Mr. Salvador will throw them, as I said before, within a period of not over 12 seconds. Are you ready, Mr. Salvador? Go! Ladies and gentlemen, be sure and watch Ann Southern next time. And I will be back in 2 weeks. And, in 2 weeks, we're going to do our show, the one that we filmed in Rome. You'll see the whole show in Rome. Meanwhile, on behalf of my company, my staff, my sponsors, and everybody, we want to wish all of you a very happy New Year.
Appearing on tonight's program are Mel Blanc, Iris Ingrid, Muriel Landers, June Earl, and Leon Luntock. Remember, 1 week from tonight on this same station, be sure and watch Ann Southern in Private Secretary.
If you're a filter tip smoker, you'll get more enjoyment out of filter tip Territons.
Mildness makes the difference. Yes, Territon mildness makes a wonderful difference in your smoking.
Pack after pack, your taste stays clean, fresh, wide awake.
You get a filter that really filters.
You get the flavor, the satisfaction you want.
That's right. In filter tip Territons, mildness makes the difference. Try them. You'll see.
The Jack Benny program has been brought to you by the American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes. The Jack Benny program has been selected for viewing by our armed forces overseas.
From Hollywood, the Jack Benny program. Brought to you by
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our show. Now, tonight, we're going to do, you know, I was just thinking, I don't know why it is. I always come out here, every show, I look at you folks, and I keep saying, thank you, thank you. Now, I don't know what I'm thanking you for. In the first place, you got in here for nothing. And believe me, that wasn't my idea. I always feel that the best thing is to charge a nominal fee for the audience. Come in and see our shows. Like, for instance, say charge $1 for adults and 50 cents for children, a quarter for animals. That is all except seals. See, I'd let the seals in for nothing because they applaud a lot. Oh, we have some. We have seals. You may get a little wet, but it's worth it, you know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, to get on with the show, tonight, I'm going to do something that I always do this time of year. And that is to have a show where newcomers, you see, amateurs, new talent, have a chance to be seen. And so for the past few weeks, I've had my producer searching for talent throughout this area, and we're going to have them on tonight. Now, I haven't seen any of the acts, but I hear they're awfully good. They really are. Now, naturally, your reception is important because I promised to give a contract to the one that you judge the best act, you see. So we'll start with the show now. Oh, Don Wilson, come out here, will you please? Don, who have we first here?
Well, Jack, this gentleman here is our first contestant, and this is his card.
Oh, let's see. You're, Mr.
Fink.
Fink, huh?
F-I-N-Q-U-E.
Now, Mr. Fink, I hope you realize that after an appearance on a show like this, you have a chance really to go places on TV. I imagine you'd be very happy about that.
Oh, yeah, I would love to be on the TV.
Good. Now, about your act, Mr. Fink.
F-I-N-Q-U-E.
Yes, I know.
That's French.
French?
Yeah, in Paris, it's Finke.
Now, Mr. Fink, or Finke, in this act you do, it says here that you do imitations. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I do all kinds of animals and things like that, you know.
Oh, you do animals and things?
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's hear you do a dog.
Let's hear you do a dog. There's 18,000 different kinds of dogs in the world. He says, let's hear you do a dog.
Well,
be specific. What kind of a dog? A chow, chihuahua, a Doberman Pinscher, dachshund, a Cocker Spaniel?
Well, all right. Let's hear you do a Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, I can't do that one.
Well, what do you do?
Well, I do small dogs, big dogs, happy dogs, sad dogs. Sad dogs are... And I can also do a Saint Bernard.
Oh, a Saint Bernard?
Yeah.
Oh, is that... Oh, well, I'd like to hear a Saint Bernard.
Right.
Go ahead. Gee, Mr. Fink, when you do a F-I-N-Q-U-E,
Yes.
when you do a dog, you really get carried away, don't you?
Oh, you said it. Yesterday I chased my wife up a tree.
Well, I can understand that. Now, what other animals can you do a horse?
Oh, yeah, I can do a horse.
All right, let's hear. I'd love to hear a horse.
Very, very good. I can also do an English horse.
A what?
English horse.
An English horse?
Yeah.
An English horse?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear an English horse. Well, that's very, very good, Mr. Fincay. Very good. And believe me, if we're ever in need of an English horse, you'll be the first one I'll call.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome. He was very good doing that English horse. I didn't know whether to give him a piece of sugar or a crumpet. Now, let's see. What's next? What are you made up like that for?
Read the card, Jack.
Don Wilson. Why is your name on this card?
Because I'm the next act.
You?
That's right, Jack. You see, you're giving other people a chance to show off their talent, so I thought this would be just a great opportunity for me to show my talent. I can do things other than just announce, you know.
Don't tell me you're going to play the clarinet.
Well, no, Jack, not exactly. I just use this as a prop in my act. I'm going to do Me and My Shadow.
No. You mean that wonderful Ted Lewis number?
Yeah.
Me and My Shadow?
That's the one. And, Jack, as long as I'm impersonating Ted Lewis with all the little dance steps and everything, I'm going to need someone to act as my shadow.
Mm-hmm. Well, Don, the only one I can possibly think of that would act as your shadow would be Mount Whitney. And I have yet to see it do a short shoe.
Well, don't worry about it, Jack. It's all taken care of. Because I'm going to be assisted by my son, Harlow.
Harlow?
Come on out, son.
Now look, Don.
Harlow, say hello to Mr. Benny.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Hello. Now, Don, you know what I think of your son, don't you? I'll admit he's a well-fed, a well-bred man. But every time you bring him out here to do something, he always louses up the show. Always. Once you brought him out, well, once, a dozen times, to do the commercial, and he can't even remember the words.
Well, now, don't worry about it this time, Jack. This time it's going to be different. All he's going to do is dance with me.
You mean he's not going to talk?
That's right, not going to talk.
Oh, I see. Then, Harlow, you've given up the idea of being an announcer. Is that it?
Yes, Mr. Benny.
Well.
But he's still working in television.
Oh.
Yes, they use my stomach for the aspirin commercials.
Your stomach for the aspirin?
I had to go to the hospital and everything.
You mean they took x-rays?
No, they put in a window.
Well, I'm glad you told me, because on your next birthday, I'll buy you curtains.
Size 44.
Well, yes, I'll remember.
Now, Jack, if you just step over to one side, please. Harlow and I'd like to do our impersonation of Ted Lewis.
Well, I'd love to hear it. Okay, Malin.
Me and my shadow strolling down the avenue. And my shadow, not a soul to tell our troubles to. And when it's 12 o'clock, climb the stairs. We never knock, or nobody's there. Just me and my little shadow, all alone and feeling. And my shadow, all alone and feeling blue. Is everybody happy? All alone and feeling
Really, that's one of the best trios that I've ever heard. Oh, Don, come back here. Harlow, you too. Don, that was really, really wonderful.
Well, thank you very much, Jack.
And Harlow, I owe you an apology. You were just great. Hey, I'm terribly sorry. I'm sorry, Harlow. Well, when I get him those new curtains, nobody will ever notice. Now, let's see, what have we next here on this amateur hour? Oh, yes, next we have, ladies and gentlemen, the Rinaldi brothers. Gentlemen, I see here that your act is called the Rinaldi brothers, featuring the fastest human being in the world.
That's right. I'm Alberto, and this is my brother, Enrico.
Now, this act that you do, is this one of those fast draw contests?
Oh, no. You see, Enrico is the fastest human being in the world. Will you open the curtains, please? He stands against that board. I shoot at him, and he will dodge the bullets.
You're going to shoot real bullets, and he dodges them?
Yes. During the act, I will shoot 7 shots. And at the end of the act, you will find every bullet in the board within the area of his body. Now.
All right, let's see it. I'm a wreck.
Are you ready? Enrico!
This is amazing.
And now, without a drum roll or any warning of any kind,
This is absolutely incredible.
and now, for the climax of our act, I will shoot 5 bullets in a period of 5 seconds in random directions, but all within the designated area.
Close the curtains, please. I guess they weren't quite ready for the big time. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the next act is a musical ensemble of 6 young ladies called the Sentimental Sweethearts.
Yeah. Could you hold it, please? We're not quite ready yet.
Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you two the
president and vice president of the Jack Benny Fan Club.
Pasadena chapter.
For heaven's sakes, of course. I thought I recognized you.
You know, Mr. Benny, when we heard that you were going to have a show for new talent, all our members got together and we decided that it would be a wonderful opportunity for our orchestra.
Your orchestra?
Yes. Come on, girls. We can't hold up the show. Come on.
The last time I saw a group like this, they were marching up San Juan Hill. Hey, wait a minute, ladies. President, isn't this the same orchestra that played for me when I went over to my fan club in Pasadena?
Well, we had three more then, but they're no longer with us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, they got married.
Oh, I'm surprised.
So were they.
Well, now, what are the Sentimental Sweethearts going to play?
Well, before we play anything for you, we'd like to have you meet our new vocalist.
Oh, you've added a vocalist to the group.
Yes. Dee Dee, come on out. Mr. Benny.
Yes?
This is Dee Dee, our vocalist.
Oh. Well, Dee Dee, have you ever sung professionally before? Dee Dee, I said, have you ever sung professionally before?
No, she never did sing professionally, but she has a very good ear for music.
Must be the right one. Well, Dee Dee, what are you going to sing?
What?
I said, what are you going to sing?
No need to shout. I am going to sing Jeannie with the light brown hair.
Oh, Jeannie, I love that number. Jeannie with the light brown hair. All right, would you open the curtains, please? Open the curtains. Well, all right, let's hear the number. You're going to sing Jeannie with the light brown hair.
I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, born like a vapor on the summer air. I see her tripping where bright streams play, happy as the daisies that dance on her way. Many were the wild notes her merry voice would pour. Many were the wild birds that warbled them o'er. I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. Wild notes her merry voice would pour. Many were the blithe birds that warbled them o'er. I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. That's Jeannie, Jeannie with the light brown hair.
That was absolutely sensational. Dee Dee, that was one. Now, what, can you do an encore for us?
Oh, yes, Mr. Benny, but we'd like you to get your violin and play with us.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Really, thank you, Seals. Well, all right, if you wait, I'll just get my violin. I always have it ready in case somebody asks. Okay. Now, what should we play? How about playing something hot again? Something like, I don't know, Sweet Georgia Brown. Yeah. Huh? Let's give it to him. Sweet Georgia Brown. Hit it. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed the show. And now, again, I'd like to bring out my guests. First, the Sentimental Sweethearts. Next, the Rinaldi brothers. I see you have another brother.
Fortunately.
And now, Mr. Fink. Mr. Fink, of course, was played by Mel Blanc.
It's a billion to you.
I know. Well, good night, folks, and I'll be seeing you soon.
Well, hello again. This is Buck Benny. We are recording this in 2024. It's what is it now? We're in August now? Yes. What August? It's August what? The 3rd. The 3rd. Okay, August 3rd. So August 3rd, 2024, and people are going, oh, wow, this is a current one. So I hope you enjoy it. We have Hope Sears back for the first time in ages. Good to see you, Hope.
Hello.
And because it's so close to the 4th, she's wearing her All-American. No, it's because it's so close to the Olympics. The Olympics, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because it is close to the 4th of August, but that's really not much of a
Got
celebration.
My Olympics apparel going on.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Well, speaking of that, Hope, what have you enjoyed the most in the Olympics so far?
Oh, I mean, you gotta love Simone Biles. Like
I
I've
know.
always loved
How could
always
you
loved the
not?
gymnastics. So yeah,
The goat of goats. She's
just
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
John. Hello, John.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
How's Canada doing in the Olympics this year?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really been following. I got to catch up with that.
Oh. Ever since they kicked you off the swim team, you're like, I don't know. He used to just slice through the water. He was so great. He was very aerodynamic. Anyway, John, great to have you here, John, too. And we have Kathy Fuller-Seeley. Kathy, have you been following the Olympics at all?
A little bit. And she said it's hard to pass up all the marvelous things that Simone Biles and her teammates are doing. So that, and then they look like they're having such a good time. Paris is really being a great host for the Olympics, to be able to stay on a big ship, those cardboard beds,
yes,
baguettes for breakfast. You know.
Yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. But man, it's gorgeous over there on the beautiful days and everything. And but the opening ceremonies, man, that was wet for a lot of them. But it is what it is. You know, my wife and I have been watching quite a bit of them, probably more than we have most years. We're just kind of getting into it this year. So yeah, and America's doing really well. So there we go. All right. Well, anyway, let's go on to of course, this ties in because everything always ties in. So the Olympics have some of our most talented people in the world on them. So this is kind of Jack's Olympics. It is he brings in it's his talent show episode, and I love it when he has these because you get to see new people you've never seen before showing talents that are unique to them. And he's got this voice person that comes on that is just fabulous. I don't know who he is exactly. He looks a lot like Mel Blanc, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, we shall go through and talk about this episode. Kathy, I had it down as 1956. I mean, I think that's how it's labeled.
Yep,
I wouldn't. Yeah, I think it's labeled when I don't know. Is it in the syndication package or is it not in the syndication package? I don't know. It was clear. I think it was really clear, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
in
was
the
in the
commercials. It was in the
syndication
syndication package. So it's in the syndication package. And it must be mislabeled there because I get my labels, usually the dates from because they actually post it with the
Well,
episode.
it turns out the
So the dates come
original,
wrong.
we have seen the one from 1956 because this is the one where Jane Mansfield comes up from the
Oh, okay.
So says Laura's marvelous book to all the TV episodes.
Okay.
So yeah, you know, but this one was great fun too. So
And when it was from 62, you said?
Christmas, it was broadcast Christmas Day, 1962, and actually they had recorded it during the summer so that
Right.
they could give themselves a Christmas break. And
Yeah.
we all know about the desirability of having breaks. So
Yeah. And it's interesting. You'd think they would have done a Christmas episode on Christmas Day of 1962, but also you can see that doing Christmas shopping, then you would have been like, Jack, you waited way too long on your shopping. So I don't know. I guess you could have done the Christmas party one that they do sometimes.
Well, it turns out while I was searching for any mention of Jack Benny in Variety or the trade journals of late '56, I found out that CBS sponsored a spectacular radio show in December, a 60-minute episode with Jack and Mary and all the cast members. And interestingly, it was sponsored by 3M, the people who make tape. And their goal was to emphasize that you should wrap all your holiday presents with 3M tape.
Right.
And the review said the show was, oh, how interesting that the networks are trying to revive radio programs. And they said this one was pretty dull, but they said the best part was they did a singing commercial in the middle praising the cast members praising 3M products. So
that's great.
I'm gonna find that show. Just to add to my collection of odd Jack Benny commercials. So
I don't know if that one's circulating at all, but I'm gonna look for it and see if I bump into it. But I don't think I have ever. That's interesting, and it reminds me of that it was sponsored by tape. It reminds me of a Saturday Night Live skit I always have kind of enjoyed, which was it was from the 70s or 80s episodes of SNL, and it was picking up on the little boutique stores that at the time would be in the malls and specialize. And so, yes, it was a tape store that only had tape, and everyone would come in looking for like audio tape or videotape, and they're like, no, we don't have that kind of tape, and all it is we only have the sticky kind. And so they could never find customers that truly wanted just their kind of tape. They were all the wrong customers. But I thought that was good. Anyway, Hope, what did you think of this episode, or what anything stood out to you in this episode that you liked in it?
I liked it. I feel like, I was like, I kept feeling like I had seen it before, and I think we have. Isn't there also a George Jessel version of this, like where he's in the contest as well?
It could be
like every year. So
so there'd be a lot of versions of this. Yeah.
So
I know I've seen
like
part
I've
of the
seen that one.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, this. I kept expecting to see him pop. Yeah. So I was like, yeah. So but I did like the dart, or not the darts, the gun, the fastest guy.
Yes.
That was great.
Well,
I cracked myself up with that.
Yeah. And I like seeing Mel do just focus on the various dogs. I haven't, usually he does like he'll do his, whatever, some of his famous voices. And this time he didn't do any famous voices. He just kind of zeroed in on different kinds of, and I didn't even know he did that many different kinds of dogs really until he starts doing them and pointing out what they are. And I'm like, and every single one of them you're like, oh, I've heard that on Jack's show. I've heard that on a cartoon or whatever. And it was just kind of fun. That bit for me was kind of nice. And of course, then Jack acting like he doesn't know him and that he's not Mel Blanc and things. And so that was kind of humorous, I thought. John, what did just stood out to you on this thing?
Oh, hi, welcome back. I as a deep Jack Benny fan, to learn that this is something that they did every year was surprising to me because I thought I knew everything that they repeated. So, I'm sure I may have seen a talent episode before, but I didn't take note of it as a thing that they repeated. So, it's interesting. But I wouldn't say it's a standout episode for a deep Jack Benny fan. Now, this might be a great episode for a new Jack Benny fan because it's fun and it's really amazing, like you say, to see Mel Blanc in person and to see him do those voices and the famous dog that you hear, like Dino's voice, and the English horse bit. Now, some of these bits we've seen or heard before on radio. I know in 1953 he did the English horse bit on radio, and then he would tell that story over and over again, even into the 70s on like Johnny Carson. And even the idea of him being somebody else and being Mr. Fink, Finque, that's also from the radio in 1949. And I remember the first time I heard that, I cracked up. I thought it was hilarious. So I think, if you're coming in hot, never seen a Jack Benny thing before, I think this might be a fun episode. But it is interesting to see any episode from this time period and like try to catch some of the actors, like the old ladies. I'm like, oh, I know those old ladies. Trying to piece together where it's from. I think one is from like a Don Knotts movie, and one is Aunt Harriet from the
Batman.
60s Batman. So yeah, that was fun too.
Well, and John, for the folks, there's got to be a few that are watching this that don't know the famous Mel Blanc doing the English horse story. Can you just give us that story really quick? And so
apparently this is how the story goes, whether it's a legend or true, who knows? But there's in the script, Mel Blanc is doing the voices like he often does, and it says do a horse, and so he does a horse or whatever. And if I remember correctly, they wanted to see if they could throw him off. They're like, oh, we can throw anything at Mel Blanc and we'll do it. So they just said, do an English horse. And then he came up with that bit.
Correct. And the big thing that they said was, we won't explain it. We won't do anything. We'll just write it's an English horse. What's he going to do with that? How do you do an English horse? And see what he does. And that's what he came with. Yeah, exactly. It's brilliant. And like you say, it would be interesting to see how many interviews and things he mentioned that story. It was like a standard Mel thing that he did almost every interview he did from a certain point forward. And so I bet it's at least dozens of times he's told that story. But it makes me believe that it's probably somewhat true, just in the fact that I've heard that story so many times, and he never like changes any of it. It always is the same story. And Jack's told this story as to it at different times, that same story. So, and both of them together
on one of the writers tell the story.
Yeah. So it must be, I figured, true. And it seems like something I could see them do. I could see them go, what's he going to do with it? I don't know. Let's put it in there. And if he didn't do much with it, if it was an English horse and he just gave it a horse sound, it would just been, oh, I don't know, nothing happened. But the fact that he actually made something of it and made something so, such a funny way to do it, because he didn't do it the whole horse sound or something in an English accent. He did just tagged on that piece at the end that makes it English. But anyway, so Kathy, what were your thoughts on this episode?
Well, again, as John says, it's not a spectacular show. In fact, it's a great way, kind of like of using up like the day after a holiday when you need to eat leftovers. Yes. What a great format for just putting in things and pretty soon your half hour is taken care of.
Yep.
I was in this particular one, I was impressed with the length of the Don Wilson thing because he's just singing normally. And so it's like, oh, that's a time filler. And Don has a fairly good voice. I loved the Finque, just as you say, that had come from radio and just made me laugh like crazy, as you say, John. From that, Mel looks kind of puffy. Is this the year after his accident or before the accident? I know the jacket he's wearing makes him look extra wide, but I was just impressed.
No, you're right. You are exactly right. Because if this is 62, as you're
And it's
saying, the accident was in like 61 or 60 or something like that.
so who knows?
Yeah.
But it was delightful to see him. How fun to see Don doing a straight bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of people you find, that is Bernie Koppel plays Mr. Rinaldi with the gun.
Oh.
He would be on. Isn't he on both Get Smart and the Love Boat?
Yes. Yes, he's the doctor on Love Boat, and on Get Smart, he's Siegfried. Yeah.
So there you
Oh,
go.
wow,
There was
yeah.
an early sighting of Bernie Koppel. I thought that routine was interesting in its darkness. The poor brother falls flat, and I love how Jack just sort of covers up
Yeah,
the
that was funny.
So that was a kind of, instead of a sticky sweet or anything like that, I just thought that was adorable. I was wondering if the Dee Dee, the singer of the Sentimental Sweethearts, was actually a younger woman made up to look old, because I couldn't tell if she was lip syncing, but then it looked like she was really singing, and so I thought that's a younger woman made up to look older.
Yeah.
So
They do so many things. Well, and I think, like you said, if it looks like they've done these talent shows many years in a row, right? That and it's not like they're showing the same one over and over again. It's like they're doing new versions, right?
But you can whatever occurs to you. Hey, we'll throw this in the half hour.
Correct. And so, like the Christmas shows, you're going to have some bits that you do over and over again. Then you have other things you throw in there, and so they change slightly. So that would be interesting. And but I think they only have one in the syndication package. So there's probably a bunch of the talent shows that we don't see unless they happen to be in circulation somewhere.
I also just did want to mention how interesting it is to see Mel Blanc at work. It's one thing when we hear him on the radio and all these fantastic noises come out, but it's fascinating when you see him work to see how he, the little facial manipulations to get the sounds to come out, and I always think that's kind of interesting. So
yeah, because you just think he just sits there and talks in the microphone and just does different thing, but he actually manipulates his mouth and his nose and everything to get some of those sounds that he gets out of him. So pretty smart guy, yeah, for sure. Anyway, I guess we'll stop there unless anybody has anything else to throw in there. But I'd say overall an enjoyable episode. Certainly for a Mel Blanc fan, I think this would be a really key one. That's a really nice one to see. And then as far as Jack Benny goes, because we recently had Don's son, what's his name again? Harlow introduced. It's kind of, I was going to say this is his second appearance, but it's not, because it's actually a film version of this from later. But if they just redone this and the other one's not available, which I'm not sure, I'm gonna look around and see if I can bump into the live version of this or whatever from 1956. But if we can't, it's pretty much the 56 episode just redone in 62. So I'll probably show it in both 56 and 62, because it's nice to see, that if it's written, and it just has a feel. Some of these are so interesting because you can tell from the filming, it goes, yeah, this rings true to 60 to 62. But in the writing and the way it's presented, it rings more like a 56 episode. And that's why you get these strange anomalies of time, because Jack sometimes redoes them without changing the script virtually at all. And so you end up with something that seems like a throwback. Kathy, you were going to say something?
The original 56 episode had Jane Mansfield coming up from the audience.
Right.
And then he promotes her that she's going to be on Shower of Stars. The Sportsmen come out with Rochester, and that's interesting. So, and they sing New Year's Day in Trinidad. And then he has the Chicken Sisters come out as this is as the Landrew sisters.
Oh, okay.
And they sing "Do You Ever See a Dream Walking?"
So and like we say, we do have that one somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's in syndication. I mean, not syndication; it's in circulation. So it exists. So maybe I'll put the two back to back. We'll see what I'm going to end up doing with this thing. But Kathy, does it have the Don and Harlow bit in that one, or no? So that's only
and no gun shooting. So it's got a guy coming out doing imitation. So Stanley Roth, who does he does different. Wait a minute. Oh, it does have Mel Blanc. Okay, says Jack says he wants to give new talent a chance. Don brings up Stanley Groff and Mel wipes spit from his eye, who does imitations, different kinds of dogs, an English horse, an electric organ. So hooray, Mel is there. So
So I'll see if I can find that one in our mix too and throw that out there. So maybe you'll get 2 episodes here. We'll see. Anyway, everybody enjoy the wonderful talent show of the Jack Benny Show and the talent of the Olympics if you're still watching that as well. So we'll see you folks later. Thanks, guys. Well, now for something very special, Kathy, what do we have now?
We've got a trailer for our upcoming episode.
Wow. John, do you like trailers?
Ooh, do I?
All right, let's see it.
Look where Mary is.
Well, that was a very nice lunch, Jack. Thanks very much.
Nothing but the best when you're out with me, baby. Look, Mary, you don't have to be back to work for 20 minutes yet. Come on with me. I got something to show you down the street.
I saw it. You wrote on the sidewalk, Mary loves Jack.
Well, here it is.
But, Jack, this is a jewelry store.
Yep. And I'm going to buy you one of those gadgets in the window.
Diamond ring.
Look, Mary, I've been doing a lot of thinking. It's about time you and I got engaged.
Engaged? But we've only known each other 6 weeks.
So what? What if it is only 6 weeks? Now, let's go.
Okay.
Go. Here we are, baby. I'm going to get you a rock so big you'll have to carry your arm in a sling.
No charge for the inscription, and you may have any type of lettering you like. Just a moment, please. If you wish, you may use our sample booklet and make your selection. Just a moment, please.
I'll come back and let you know.
Thank you. Now, what can I do for you?
We'd like to look at some engagement rings.
Engagement, huh?
Yeah.
Have you, thought this over?
Of course I have.
I was talking to the lady.
Clerk, I saw some rings in the window set in platinum. I'd like to see something like that.
Why, certainly.
There we are.
I think I like this one.
Well, and that's the one for you.
Gee, look at the way it shines.
That's right, Mary.
Have you made up your mind?
Yes, this is the one I want.
You're positive now?
Yes, Jack, it's beautiful.
Well, if that's the one you want, that's the one you're going to get. Here, let me put on your finger.
Gee.
Okay, mister. How much is it?
$485.
$5?
Right.
Mary,
Yes, Jack?
we've only known each other 6 weeks. I mean, you know, getting engaged is a serious business. I mean, what are you rushing me for?
Rushing you?
Yes, I mean, how do you know you love me?
I didn't until I saw it written on the sidewalk.
A few chalk marks. She makes a big thing out of it.
I asked her if she was sure.
You see, even he's worried.
Jack!
Mary, look, you're just infatuated with me because I'm on the stage and I have my own radio show.
You're also irresistible.
I know. That's why we have to be careful. Look, Mary, take off the ring.
Just a minute,
Now,
Jack.
wait, straighten your finger.
Stop pulling. I'll take it off myself.
All right, well, get it off.
You can have it for $450.
Mary, take the ring.
$375.
No, Mary.
$250.
You shut up. Come on, let's get out of here.
Well, it's getting late. I think I better be getting back to the store.
You're not mad, are you, Mary?
No, I'm not mad. In fact, it's just as well. If we got engaged, I'd have to take you home and introduce you to my family, and I don't think they're ready for you yet.
No, I guess not. After all, when you bring home a big star like I am, you sort of have to prepare them. They get nervous and shy. They don't know. Mary. Well, I guess she had to get back to the store. Oh, well.